Hello, good evening. I am Leo Lima, professor at the Keppe and Pacheco College. We are going to have another talk this evening, um, and I would like for you to write your name here on the message, because so that I know who you are, right? Can you please write the name of the participants? Let me see who we have here already. We have Lilia, Teacher Sari, Nívia, hello Nívia, Sandra Siqueira, Juliana, hello Juliana, Helena Goulart. Who else is here? Can you please write your name? Fernando, hello Fernando. Please write your name here on the message side so that we can follow who is in the participating in the live, okay? So, today we are going to talk about, I'm talking about here at the Keppe and Pacheco College. Here we have two pictures of our college. The one at the left-hand side is in São Paulo, Avenida Rebouças, and the other one at the bottom right in Cambuquira, Minas Gerais. One day we had an event there, and then we have many teachers and students. So this is our college, and I would like to invite you for a course. This course is going to be online, and you can also invite your friends if you like what we are going to introduce to you. This online course is going to be about sociotherapy. This is the title of the course. We are going to talk about emotional competence and leadership. How to be a leader to disinvert the world. Interesting title, isn't it? So, we are going to have a lot of contents in this course, and this is what I'm going to talk to you tonight. This is going to be the certificate you are going to have is a University Extension Certificate. É um certificado de extensão universitária. And what's interesting about this course is that you can use the credits for a future post-graduation course, right? You can use these credits then for the future. When you have this post-graduation course, you can use these credits of this certificate, University Extension course. So, society, as we know, has so many problems today. This is one, global warming, right? At this exact moment here in São Paulo, it's not warm, it's actually cold. But some people say that even this cold is an effect of this global weather changing, right? So we have this many problems about global warming all around the world at the moment. The poles, the ice is melting, and this is increasing the height of the seas. So we have this big problem at the moment. We have problems with pollution as well, especially in big cities like São Paulo. And COVID-19, this worldwide pandemic, this big problem that's having consequences in our health, in our everyday lives, in our work. The world is not working. The world is not working at the moment has stopped, and this is how you have consequences, the economy. In other words, we have so many problems in the world nowadays. I don't need to keep on talking about them. So, how can we make the world a better place? To face today's innumerable conflicts and find feasible solutions for them, one needs to be a leader. When I say leader, I'm not thinking only about big companies, multinationals. No, I'm talking about being a leader in your group. And leader, it doesn't mean that you are going to give orders only, but a person who can feel the needs of the situation, the needs of people, to feel uh, what can, how the situation can be improved. So this is a kind of leader I'm talking about. So housewives can be leaders, adolescents can be leaders at home, at school, in their training work. In other words, this kind of leader. We need people who have this feeling to see the situation, to understand the situation, detect the causes of the problems, and have means to make changes for the better, right? So there is a need for people to develop this kind of attitude, a positive, loving, helping attitude. Now, many times when people talk about training, about courses, about acquiring knowledge, people think about technical training. But is this enough? If you pay attention, sometimes a professional, he is very knowledgeable about his business, his work, but he doesn't have good human contact. And that's a big problem for them. Although they are specialists, they understand a lot about their technical function, they lack some human abilities. So we think that a training on humanities also is important. It counts too. So this is something that we are going to see in this course. But so what does it take for a person to be a leader? As I said, only technical training sometimes is not enough, right? You need inspiration, you need communication, you need a sense of purpose, you need to be open, you need to be motivated, you need many things. But maybe, and especially, emotional competence, right? Emotional competence is not something that you read in a book and you learn in a book. You have to practice. You have to live with people, to have contact with people, understand yourself so that you can understand other people too. So this is the main focus of our course, to develop this emotional competence. Now, how can we do that? How can we develop our emotional competence? As I said, is not by reading a book. It's not by reading a tutorial on the YouTube, right? How can we do that? Are you thinking like these people? How can we develop our emotional competence, Felipe? Do you know this guy here? This guy was a very important philosopher from Greece. This Socrates. Socrates, uh, he used to teach his students about how to be emotionally competent. And the first advice he gave was in history, is in history today. Everybody knows his phrase, know yourself. This is the first point for people who want to be leaders or to do any kind of job anyway, even to live. If you don't know yourself, you cannot know other people. And this is the origin of many conflicts. People not understanding how people behave, what they feel. So the key to good relationships and good work and good living in this world is to know yourself, as Socrates advised many years ago in ancient Greece. Well, Norberto Keppe, the psychoanalyst who created Analytical Trilogy, the science of analytical trilogy, he formulates this method, which is excellent for people to acquire this capability. He united three fields which are separated in society. The field of theology, philosophy, and science. Well, these three areas of knowledge in society, they are separated. For example, theology, priests, rabbis, ministers, religious people, religious professionals, they think their profession is not connected to science. If you tell them, but is what you're saying scientific? They say, well, I don't know, because I'm a theologian. I work with theology. This is not a science. Then if you go to a scientist and you say, you know, I have this spiritual impression about something. What do you think? The scientist will say, well, I'm sorry, this is not my area. I'm a scientist. I don't deal with the spiritual things. And if you go to a philosopher, he has his theories, his systems of thoughts, and if you talk to them about science, they will say also that they are not scientists. So in society, these three fields are separated, but in life, they are not separated. For example, theology is the field of feeling, faith, what people, sensations people have. Philosophy is the realm of ideas, reasoning, thoughts, and science is the field of experimentation, practice, right? Now, a person has these three things. The same person has feelings, has ideas, and has action. You see, these three fields are not separated in an individual. So why do we separate them in life? It doesn't work. So what happens? If you go to a church, if you go to theology, you feel the need of some scientific evidence because people have these three aspects in their minds. The same thing with science. If you go to science, usually science is atheistic, is materialistic, and then you lack this spiritual side. And if you go to philosophy, sometimes it's not practical. Sometimes it's only theoretical and you need some science there. So in people, feelings, ideas, and actions, they are together in the individual. So these three areas of knowledge too, they cannot be separated. So Keppe perceived this very brilliantly, and he, in his methodology, Analytical Trilogy, he deals with these three areas together. So let's hear what Dr. Claudia has to tell us about it.
Meu nome é Cláudia Pacheco. Estamos aqui para darmos a vocês mais uma série de informações, de conhecimentos da ciência chamada psicanálise integral ou trilogia analítica, formulada pelo psicanalista Norberto Keppe, que é presidente da Sociedade de Psicanálise Integral. Esta programação tem a finalidade de conscientizar a população das causas, bem como dos possíveis tratamentos das terapias das doenças orgânicas, psíquicas e sociais, que Norberto Keppe chama de psicossociopatologia, e também da medicina psicossomática. Portanto, nossa visão do ser humano é uma visão integrada. Nós vemos o ser humano e tratamos o ser humano no seu todo, nos seus pensamentos, na sua filosofia de vida, nos seus sentimentos, na sua espiritualidade e nas suas ações, na prática da sua vida social, afetiva, profissional.
So, Analytical Trilogy is a method of psychoanalysis that uncovers the man's capabilities, because usually we hide many possibilities we have. It's known that the human being uses only a small percentage of our brain, but not only the brain, many possibilities we have, many talents people have, many times people don't use, because in paradise we were created perfect. The human being was perfect as he was created by God, by the Creator. And you see, we are far from being perfect, aren't we? But why is that? Because of our attitude. We don't use our capabilities. So Analytical Trilogy helps people to uncover our talents, our possibilities, our real nature. So, what's your talent? Let's find out what, not your talent, your talents in plural. What are your possibilities that you are hiding and you're not using? So, man was created sane, but because of the pathological attitudes he takes, he many times fails to use this nature totally, fully use this nature, right? Which is a big shame. So, in this book, Liberation, Norberto Keppe explains that evil is not part of reality. Evil, when I mean evil, I mean any kind of difficulty, any kind of problem, even financial problems, emotional problems, organic diseases. Now, for example, we have this big social problem in the world, right? And also this health problem in the world. And as a consequence, we will have economic problems too. So, Keppe says in this book that any kind of difficulty is not natural. This is a privation of good. And man is the one who does that without perceiving it. People do this, but they're not aware. They need to perceive because it depends on us. So, Keppe introduced in the science of psychopathology the concept that evil is a result of our attitude. Three kinds of attitudes. We omit our real nature, we distort good, and we deny reality. Because the true reality is not the one we are seeing in the world now. Confusion, problems, diseases. This is not the real reality. The real reality we have distorted. That's why we are in this situation. So this is what Keppe explains in this book, Liberation. He says that we cause problems. They are not natural. They wouldn't exist in the world if it were not because of our attitudes. So this course, and with the help of Analytical Trilogy, is going to see what kind of attitudes we have to distort reality, to distort our lives, and not develop, not be healthy, not be happy. We have to see what kind of attitudes these are. Let's see how Dr. Keppe explains this.
O ser humano, na origem, na essência, na criação, ele foi criado dentro de toda a verdade, dentro de todo amor, né, sentimento de amor, e dentro de toda a estética. Então, por causa de uma rejeição, que a nossa ideia é tirada inclusive da filosofia antiga da Grécia, que o mal é a privação ao bem. Então a doença é uma privação da saúde. Se o indivíduo não rejeita a saúde, ele não pode ficar doente. Então é um absurdo, parece, dizer isso, né? Mas a pessoa fica doente porque ela não quer a saúde.
So, my friends, only by conscientizing this rejection to good, which we don't perceive, we do without perceiving it clearly. People don't know they are doing this. So when we conscientize this, we pay attention, we start knowing ourselves, we follow the advice of Socrates. When we do that, then we can understand ourselves, we can understand other people, have a better life, better jobs, a better society, and live in the world everybody wants to live. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to have a good life. So we cannot depend on other people to do this for us. Each one is responsible for not having this kind of life we wish, right? But we have to see what kind of attitudes everyone is having, each one of us is having. We have to open our minds. And this is what we are going to do in this course.
A missão da Associação Keppe Pacheco é promover a desinversão da humanidade através da conscientização da psicossociopatologia, visando resgatar a bondade, a verdade e a beleza, que são a verdadeira essência dos seres humanos. Para essa finalidade, utiliza-se a ciência Trilogia Analítica, criada pelos psicanalistas Norberto Keppe e Cláudia Benhart de Souza Pacheco.
So, on Wednesday, this next week, the 3rd of June, at the same time, teacher Sari and myself, we are going to give a master class about this course. So if you are interested to know more, it's not going to be the course, it's before the course, just a master class, like we are going to explain in more details the matters, the subjects we are going to study, everything. And then you can ask questions, because it's going to be, we are going to use Google Meet, so you can speak, and we can have this dialogue. Today, we are here in the YouTube, so the only contact we can have is by writing. It's more limited. But next Wednesday, join us in this master class, because then we can talk, all right? So, what are we going to see in this course? How to make a better use of our consciousness, which is a powerful tool we have to have a good life, but we don't use our consciousness. So we are going to learn how to make a better use of consciousness, to see reality better. We are going to learn how to stop blocking happiness in our lives, because we do this without perceiving it. We are going to see how we sabotage our success many times. We escape from success many times. And also, we are going to learn how to develop our own business if we want, how to improve our activities. Okay? And what's more important, we are going to have all this in discussions, because our course it has a lot of participation between the students and the teachers. We are going to use this knowledge to apply them to our lives, and we are going to talk a lot about this. We are going to study the history of psychoanalysis. We are going to have an introduction to psychological life, understanding psychotherapies, analyzing society, the situation of society, its problems, its possible solutions. And we are going to see consciousness as the source of spirituality as well. Now, what's the best part of the course is that Dr. Claudia herself is going to conduct therapeutic workshops with all of you, all the students, right? weekly. She will have these workshops with you where you'll be able to put all these learnings in practice in workshops. And also, we are going to learn from especially 2 books. This one is called From Sigmund Freud to Viktor Frankl, Integral Psychoanalysis. Dr. Keppe studied with Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl is a famous analyst from the third school of Vienna. And he worked with Viktor Frankl in the early 60s. And in this book, he writes all his experience since Freud and then to Viktor Frankl, and then how he created Analytical Trilogy, the Integral Psychoanalysis. We are going to know then the cause of problems and how to solve them. And another interesting book by Dr. Keppe is Glorification. We are also going to study in this book, in this course, to understand the positive aspects of nature and the positive aspects of life. In this book, Dr. Keppe says that, as we said before, that there's nothing wrong with nature, there's nothing wrong with life itself. It's man who creates problems, but we don't perceive that, and then we are always looking for solutions in life without going to the real cause of the problem, which is our own attitudes. So this is what we are going to see in this book. When you study this book and apply it to your life, you can recover this wonderful reality that's inside of us and we don't use. Okay? These will be the 2 main books in this program. So, become a leader with the help of this course. The course is going to take comprises 3 modules, right? These 3 modules here, 3 months. This is the price per month, and it's going to start on the 10th of June. So as I said, next Wednesday is the 3rd of June, and teacher Sari and myself are going to hold this masterclass to talk to you more in depth about the program and the contents of the book. I hope you join us. And don't forget to register for the course, because you have the link right on your YouTube. You see on the screen of the YouTube, you have the link for you to register. So please register because we are going to use another system. So we need to have this registration. We are going to use Google Meet to do that, right? Okay, so I hope you join us next Wednesday for our masterclass, and then we will be able to answer your possible questions, clarify. Also, we want to hear your comments, what you have to say, so then we can start our course on the 10th of June, okay? I hope this was useful information for you, and I hope to see you then. I wish you, all of you, a good night, and see you. Bye-bye.